Good morning, everyone. I'm Jen, this is Lexi. We are leading today's Friday 9 a.m. HIIT class. So welcome. Let's start with our dynamic stretching. Hope everyone's feeling well today. I'm feeling a little bit sore, but I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm going to keep working hard, stay fit, burn some calories, build some muscle. All right, so get that blood pumping. Use these arm swings to drive that blood flow into your chest, into your back. Warm up that tissue, get that synovial fluid flowing through the joint. I'm working for my base circles now. I'm gonna go front and back. Warm up my shoulder. Okay, and opening up here to the side as I go front and back. Okay, today's workout, backed by kind of popular demand, we have a workout set for time. So we have a timer set on the back TV here that will help us keep track. We're gonna go through really 5 circuits of work. And the first 4 are going through our various movements, upper body, lower body. I've got some dumbbells here. The last set is going to be all core work. So for the first 4 sets, we're going to go for 4 minutes. Okay. So in this first set, we're going to start with goblet squats. And then we're going to go to a horse stance overhead press. Sorry, I gotta put my workout here in a place where I can see it. Okay, so horse stance overhead press. Then we have side plank deltoid raise and glute bridge chest press. Okay, so for our goblet squats, remember our heels are in, our toes are out. We're feeling that external rotation in our hips. So we're just gonna work through some goblet squats. We can add a weight or not. The second round is horse stance. So basically you're sitting in your goblet squat in a hold. And here we're gonna do an overhead press. So we're not gonna be into a shoulder press so much. We're gonna be slightly tilted forward. So you can see your hands in your eyeballs here as you gaze up toward the ceiling. Okay, and then side plank deltoid raise. Down on a good side plank, either on your elbows, with your dumbbell, working here, and we're gonna go, and then flip sides. And really that deltoid raise, we're working from our delts here, but it's there to create some instability. You wanna focus on keeping your core engaged and totally stable and not moving. And then the last element will be glute bridge chest press. You're gonna be down in good glute bridge, held, heels down, hand toes up, and work through a chest press here. Now, we're gonna go through each element for 30 seconds and 3 times through, okay? So, goblet squat, then horse stance overhead press, then side plank deltoid raise, and then glute bridge chest press. So 30, 30, 30, 30, 3 times through for a total of 6 minutes per exercise. All right, you guys got it? Okay, let's get going. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a fiber for my goblet squat, just because I like to have a little bit of focus here in the center. Okay, Kevin, are you ready with the timer? Okay, now my heels are in, my toes are out, my core is engaged. I wanna focus on a nice tight core, descending nice and straight. Ready, steady, and go. And we're going for 30. Now I have a drop hold. Lexi's holding with a nice goblet hold. Both of those are totally fine. Feel those hips open up, but try not to lean forward. Belly's nice and tight. You should feel this a lot in your inner thighs. Okay, grab that other dumbbell. Now we're going to sit in that position and push and extend out and up. not straight up. As you gaze up toward the ceiling, you want to be able to still see those dumbbells in your vision. So extending out and away, but core stays nice and tight. Okay, side plank deltoid raise. I'm gonna go down on my elbow, lift my hips, looking for a nice tight line, both top and bottom. Good. What our tendency here is to do is to let our bottom side hip drop down. So don't let that happen. Okay, that's 30 seconds. Now we have glute bridge chest press. So roll over on your back. Lift your fanny toward the ceiling. Dig your heels in to activate hamstrings and glutes. Now here you're looking for a nice neutral spine, but on an incline. Okay, so pelvis is at the top. Shoulders are at the bottom. We're squeezing through the pecs as the fingertips extend toward the ceiling. All right, how about quick round two? All right, now let's watch. I love that Lexi and I are in sync. Kevin, can you make the timer white? Is that possible? Red is just too hard to see. Okay, now overhead press. And as I'm extending up and away, I'm trying to keep my shoulder blades really steady in my back. I don't want them to rise up and I don't want to bunch up in my shoulders. Okay, alternate side plank. Now I'm going down on my opposite elbow. Lift those hips. Feel yourself pulling your arm to vertical, using those back delts. Okay, good. Now back to your glute bridge. Quick transitions, guys. Lots of exercise, no waiting. Now, you can do this with wrists facing each other or thumbs facing. Keep your body nice and still. Knees should be hip width apart. All right, back up. Go, let's go. Think about that body setup. Make that transverse deepen and wrap. Rib cage close. Okay, grab two, overhead press. Now your isometric hold is out here, extended toward the ceiling. Okay, side plank. And you're just reaching for vertical. So fingertips extended toward the ceiling, lowering with control. Now is when you get fatigued and that bottom side hip wants to drip down toward the ground. Don't let it go there. Okay, last one, glute bridge. All right, bottoms up, heels down. do a little fly arms in here too, just for a little bit of variation. And there's our timer. Good. Okay, now's your chance to get a little water if you need it. Okay. All right. Now we have squat with an alternating leg raise. All right, so that will be squat, raise, squat, raise. Okay, and think about you're raising that leg up through a contraction of your obliques. Your glutes are also going to be responsible. Make sure you keep a neutral spine throughout. Don't lean to open up. Then we have pike push-ups. Everybody's favorite. Remember, stay in control. If you're resting in down dog, pushing your shoulders away from the mat, that's great. But try and get some pike push-ups in there too. Okay, then we have plank jacks. And that last element is kneeling around the world. So this is a lot of body weight, but we are going to end after those plank jacks with your dumbbells going around the world from a kneeling position. Get your blanket, get your pillow over your knees now if you need it. Remember, 30 seconds goes fast, okay? So stay on it. Get your space, get your dumbbells close, not too close that you hurt yourself, okay? As you're ready, okay, we're gonna start with those squats, alternating leg raises. Ready, steady, and go. Use that oblique. Spine is neutral. Sink that tailbone down toward the ground. You don't want any pelvic tilt. 45-degree back. I like having my Gimme arms out here because then I can pay attention to keep my lats engaged as I keep my arms level. Okay, pike push-ups. Down dog position, gaze at your toes. And drop that head toward the ground. Five, 2, and 1. Okay, now plank jacks. So get yourself in the high plank. Make sure your dumbbells aren't in the way. Okay, and we're hopping out to the side with control. You don't want your butt to rise up. So if you find that your butt is rising up too much, don't jump out so far. Use your breath. Keep your pelvic floor engaged. Good, okay, grab those dumbbells, kneeling around the world. And remember, this kneeling position really helps intensify your core. So don't let your pelvis move at all here. Start your exhale before you move. Let's sneak in one more. Good, okay, rise up, squats. All right, elbows out, squat, leg raise, squat, leg raise. Big tailbone, big deep belly, pelvic floor lifting in opposition to that tailbone sinking. 3, 2, and 1. Pike push-ups. Down dog. Now, if you feel like this is really hard, you can rest in down dog, pushing your shoulders away from the mat, lowering yourself with control as you're able. Good, okay, plank jacks. So get into that high plank once more. and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 2, 3, 4, and 3, 2, 3, 4, and 4, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 2, 3, 4, and 6, 2, 3, 4. Okay, on your knees. Reach for those dumbbells. All right. I like to start my exhale before I move. Exhale. Ooh, shoulders, good morning. All right, last time through. Squat alternating lunge, or alternating leg raise. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, pike push-ups. All right, lots wrong, ladies and gentlemen. You forget about your belly fresh. All right, just hinging at the elbow, or bending at the elbow rather. Lower the head to the ground, press down. One more. Good, okay, flank jacks. Now it's a little bit harder with plank jacks. Think about keeping your wrists under your armpits. We're trying to squeeze through the armpits. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, around the glutes. So I called this workout, Gimme some Lovin, because it's a crummy day outside here today. And I want to be focused on feeling good when springtime and summer really comes. And I know it's coming. So let's stay focused. We got 2 more rounds of our regular work and some good core work. You guys got it, get a drink. Okay, we're getting a little bit more concentrated in this next circuit. We're gonna do split stance RDLs. Okay, what the heck? This is a little bit more stable than a single leg RDL because you do get to have one foot down. Some might call it really just a split leg hinge. Now you can use weights or not weights. Through this circuit, we are gonna use the weights. So if you want them, great. Now remember, our good split stance I'm gonna have. Our good split stance, we start off in a nice neutral feet underneath hips in a comfortable position. We're gonna step forward with that left leg, okay? Toes are straight, front knee is bent. All right, I have the weights here. I'm gonna bend my elbows to a nice right angle and hold my arms to right angle, elbows in. All right, I'm gonna hinge forward and then dig my left heel into the ground. Now notice my right foot is back and straight and toes are pointed forward. So we're gonna stay with that movement, really focus on isolating that left leg. My right leg is down, helping support my balance. So you're not gonna fall over, okay? Just focus in as you can on that front leg and that back side, that hamstring and glute. My left leg is forward. Let's get going. 30 seconds. Ready, steady, go. Flat back descending. Dig that heel in to rise. Now make sure your belly's nice and tight. Now you're digging the heels in, not the toes. And you should feel okay if you feel like you're rocking a little bit on that footbed of yours. That's normal. The muscles in your foot and your ankle are being responsive to help maintain your balance. All right, let's switch feet. Right leg forward, left leg back, nice bend. Hinge and push forward. Hinge. Dig that heel. Wrap that core. We all need that hamstring work. Strong legs, legs in balance, strong, healthy knees. Okay, now we're going to get in our bend over position and do some rows. Okay, let's go with the narrow bend over position and elbows. And elbows. And your arms are dead. You're dragging your elbows to the ceiling by retracting on those lats. Keep that belly button drawn in. Force a rib cage closer. Keep that core nice and tight. 3, 2, and 1. Now flies. Arms are rounded. Now think long spine here. You might be bunching because you're getting tired. Lengthen out your tailbone through the top of your head. Gaze should be down at the ground. Last one, and back to our split stance. So left leg forward, right leg back. Elbows locked in. And hinge. And that right leg, that leg that's in back, you aren't driving a lot into that leg. If you think about body weight, let's get about 70% force into that front leg, maybe just 30% into that back leg. All right, switch sides. We got right leg forward, right heel to the ground. Oh, I lost my balance. It's all right. All right, get into your bent over position again. We're doing rows. Isometric hold is elbows to the ceiling. Imagine there's magnets pulling your elbows toward the ceiling. If you can, imagine it pulling your belly button to the ceiling too. Because you do want to keep that core tight. All right, fly arms. When we get done with this, we want our back to feel that nice burn. Think with the muscles you want to be using here, folks. Soften your hip flexors. Get the weight in your heels. All right, let's go back. Left leg forward into that split stance. Flat back. This is the last round. You can do it. Last night, my son was asking me, Mom, what exercises do I need to do for my back to get it all covered? And he went over, okay, I got flies and rows and over behind the head, lateral pull downs. So I got it covered. Oh, honey, no, you really need to do some RDLs to get that lower back. And of course, that just drips right on down to your glutes and hamstrings. It's really hard to not get that whole back side. All right, now rows. Arms. Focus on that isometric hold. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. All right, flies. I feel like your last legs, guys. Draw those rounded arms open, pulling from your back. Hold with elbows toward the ceiling. Lower with control. Good. Okay, I'm going to come down into child's pose for a second. Lengthen around my back before I get into this next round. Okay, next round we have dumbbell swings. So this is like a kettlebell swing. So we're going to hold on to those dumbbells with ski your arms. We've done this once before in this format. That is a little bit of an explosive movement. You want to have your core nice and tight, driving with your hamstrings and glutes, but don't let your hips project forward. Then we're going to have a strong arm series. We're going to do bicep curls with palms up, then reverse curls, palms down, and then hammer curls with thumbs up. Okay, so we're just rotating through the position of our arms. And hopefully at the end, you're going to feel good for the biceps. Even if your weights at home are 5 pounds, 7 pounds, forgive me if your weights at home are 10 pounds. Okay, ready, dumbbell swings. Okay, so we're going to be in a nice neutral stance. So Lexi's going to stand facing forward, I'm going to stand sideways, so you get both views all in one. Okay, so it's a bent over hamstring glute snap. So that's what the bottom half is doing. Okay, so you come back and thrust them forward. Okay, Kev, as you're ready, start the timer. Mr. Technology is changing our timer now. It's like a traditional old-fashioned timer. Can you make the clicky sound even? Tight core. Now use those deltoids at tops of shoulders to control the path of your swing. All right, good. Okay, now we have bicep curls. So palms up. Your isometric hold is the contraction of your bicep. And then lengthen through the bicep. I like to softly bend my knees so I can really focus on, am I staying nice and tight in my core? 3, 2, and 1. Okay, palms down, reverse. So you're pulling your knuckles towards your torso. Throughout, focus on keeping your wrists as straight as you can. And ideally, this is getting more the top of your arm as well. Okay, now let's go thumbs up. And imagine that your arms are like a trapdoor that you're slowly opening. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, back to the skier arms. And I'm thinking lats and shoulders. And I'm rising up, really pulling those hamstrings and glutes, trying to keep my hip flexors soft, but belly nice and tight, and rising to a nice straight vertical. Good, okay, bicep curls. Palms up. you want to add a little bit more tension, bend those knees, go down into a squat. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse. Straight wrists. We're getting some noodle arms out there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hammer. One more round after this, guys. And we'll move on to our core. Now for core, we're going to spend 8 minutes on core. So we should all feel like we're getting a good core workout. Okay, last round, skiers. Now if you did happen to have a kettlebell at home, grab it. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, bicep curl. Palms up. Extend one leg out, straight, resting on the heel. So you drive a little bit more tension in my right leg that's standing. And I'm going to alternate with this reverse. My right leg out, left leg is bent, or holding on body weight. Whew. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now hammer curls. Now I'm going to go back to my goblet squat. I'm going to alternate heels. Ten, 6, 3, 2, and 1. All right, nice job. Okay, get some water. We're on our last round. I gotta bring my workout up again. My computer went to sleep. Okay, all right. So for this core section, it's 8 minutes, no resting. All right, so we're gonna start with our Pilates roll-ups. So we're gonna be totally supine, trying to keep our legs as dead as we can, keeping them like from gripping through our quads. I'd rather you grip through your hamstrings and heels to rise up. You can do an overhead reach if you want. Then we're going to do single leg bridges. So what you'll find here is my philosophy on your core is it's not just your anterior, it's also your posterior. So we're going to get into that back. Okay, so we're going to do single leg bridges for 30 seconds on each leg. And we can do some pulses in there, so I might throw that in. Then we have diamond crunches. So diamond crunches, your knees are butterflied out. And we're focusing on just deepening through our transfers, trying to get our shoulders off the ground. And imagine that our deepened belly is going to contract and pull us up just a little bit. We aren't rising all the way up in a traditional ab crunch format. We're just really trying to leverage pulling our weight up through deepening and wrapping our belly. And then reverse plank. Then we have roll-ups again. Single leg bridges again, then we have high plank and Russian twists. okay? So by the end of this 8 minutes, we should feel like we've done some work, okay? So I'm bringing my laptop in a little bit closer. All right, Lexi's gonna show you the front view, I'm gonna show you the side view. I'm gonna use a dumbbell over my chest to show you that overhead reach. Okay, now remember, this isn't a road race. Use your good form here, okay? All right, ready, Kat? Inhale, exhale. All right, and begin. Now this is a spinal articulation move. You're trying to come up one vertebrae at a time toward the ceiling. Try not to pull from your shoulders, pull from your lats to obliques, deepening the transverse, and then the rectus abdominis is going to pull you up into flexion. But think about your body like I set it on the nose. Nice and easy. I like roll-ups because it really allows me to think about how I want my body to be moving. One. Okay, now I'm going to come up into a glute bridge. I'm going to set that weight on my hips, and then I'm going to have so my left leg is down, and my right heel is up, and I'm going to focus on keeping my pelvis nice and neutral. And I'm doing a little pump. You don't need to if you don't need to, but think lats to obliques. We're going to do this side just for 30, and then we're going to quick switch to the other side for 30. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, lower that leg. Extend left leg toward the ceiling. We're tapping in that nice little thumb tap into the ceiling. So we should have good body control. Isolated movement. Your knee, my right knee, should stay nice and still. I'm just working through my right hip, hamstring and glute, contracting. My right toes are off the ground. Okay, diamond crunches. All right, so now I'm opening up heels together, butterfly my knees out. I'm gonna have fingertips toward the middle, and I'm reaching for my toes, but I'm not really reaching. I'm allowing that contraction of my transverse to pull me up. I'm thinking lat to oblique, deep and wrap my belly. Now the reason we put our legs into this diamond position is so that we can't squeeze through our glutes. So contract and lengthen. Contract and lengthen. Nice and slow. Contract and lengthen. And feel yourself lengthening your lats towards your ankles. Or, sorry, contracting your lats towards your ankles. Good. Okay, now reverse plank. So sit up on your sacrum, feet on the ground, press your hands underneath your armpits, and extend toward the ceiling. Now you can be in a bent position, or you can be in a fully lengthened position. Whatever works for you, but make sure your knees are separated. Everything should run parallel to your hips. Good. We have 30 more seconds in this reverse plank. I'm thinking strong back, strong core. Oh, there's my hamstrings. Relax your feet, don't let them cramp. Wiggle your toes. Press your hands through the mat. Lift your heart a little bit here. You got 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, back to your roll-ups. Grab that dumbbell. Now, I'm going to extend my dumbbell all the way toward my toes now, instead of reaching through the ceiling. So I'm lengthening my hamstrings. As I reach, I'm going to try and get that dumbbell past my toes. No momentum here, guys. Start the breath before you move. Contract lat to oblique, and then roll up one vertebrae at a time. Good, okay, back to those single leg bridges. All right, now, I took the weight off my hips. What's really important with this to keep hips in parallel is keeping those lat to obliques engaged and palms down toward the mat. And energy into your palms really helps drive that. So don't feel like if you're sacrificing form, if you're sacrificing lat engagement, don't put that weight on there. Okay, switch legs. Well, I guess I decided that my legs weren't sore enough. I should add in some hamstring soreness. So that's how we're going to feel tomorrow. Hamstrings. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now we're into a high plank or elbow plank, whichever works for you. Okay, wrists under armpits, extend and extend. All right, now make sure your lats are loaded here and not your shoulders. Check in with your pelvic floor. You want to make sure that your pelvis is nice and supported, not just with your transverse, but also inner thighs, pelvic floor. You shouldn't be retracting too heavily between your shoulder blades here, okay? Solid through the chest and through the back. Don't grip heavy in the legs either. Okay, I'm wiggling my legs a little bit. They aren't overly tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, spinning. Let's get into our Russian twist, either feet up or feet on the ground. Make sure you have your spacing, and we're twisting through the rib cage. And you can do a combination of both. I'm going to start with my feet on the ground. Lucy's got her feet up. Her core is nice and tight. Twisting through the ribs. No tension in your neck and shoulders. Good. I'm focusing on my oblique, keeping my rib cage closed. Try and keep my hip flexor soft. All right, we got 20 seconds left. Let's push. I lift my feet up off the ground. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! All right, nice job. All right, let's go ahead and get into child's pose. All right, I got my heels on the outside of my buttons. That's really comfortable for me. Let's go ahead and melt down toward the mat. Open those hips up, soften consciously, okay? Let your chest melt toward the mat, forehead into the mat. Fingertips above your head, but gently so here at the beginning. All right, now let's walk our fingertips over to the left side of our mat. Opening up our right side. Keep your hips in parallel. So if you need to, create some energy away from your right armpit, dragging your right hip away. Walk your fingertips back toward the middle, and now over toward the right side. Good, fingertips back toward the middle. Let's come into a tabletop position. Let's get a little pigeon, okay? So right knee is gonna drag up toward the right hand. Walk that right ankle toward the left hand. Shoot the left leg back so it's nice and straight. And let's mount our torso down toward our elbows. Rest at your elbows as a spot of transition and identifying where you're feeling tight. And then as you feel yourself easing into the stretch, releasing into it, getting to the edge, backing away, maybe pushing the edge a little bit more, mount your chest all the way down, head resting into the mat. And from here, I'm actually going to tee out my arms. And on the exhale, I'm going to airplane my arms as though there's magnets pulling the backs of my arms up toward the ceiling. So opening, lengthening through my chest, and back down. Good. Okay, bring your hands underneath your armpits. Push your torso up and away. Drag that right leg back. Now left knee toward left palm. Left ankle toward right palm. Start lowering your torso down toward the mat. Releasing that tension. And resting your torso as you're able. Face down. And now let's go ahead and try and thread the needle from this position. So my left knee is forward. I'm going to take my left arm and thread it underneath my right arm. Now let's switch. Drag that left arm out, extend it up overhead. Take the right arm and thread the needle. And then rest your right cheek down. And say, extend your left fingertips toward the ceiling. Until a complete torso twist. All right. Drag that right arm out. Plant the hands underneath the armpits. Drag the knees back. All right, guys, thanks for joining us in class today. Starting next week, we're going to add some more classes to our live streaming. Watch your emails, but starting next week, we're going to have our normal Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. and Tuesday, Thursday at 10, which is the strong and steady format, not a HIIT format. And new to next week, Lexi is going to be starting up an evening HIIT class. So Mondays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. It'll be a different login to Zoom, but stay tuned, and I hope to see you all there. And stay on to say hi at the end. Thanks, bye.